Hi. Recently, while we were studying Genesis, chapter 20 in particular, with friends of ours, my memory was jogged to a Watchtower article in the aid book on lying. So under lie in the aid book, they justify the lying of Abraham, just as an example. So I wanted to read to you what the aid book says. Under lie it says, the opposite of truth. Lying generally involves saying something false to a person who is entitled to know the truth, and doing so with the intent to deceive or to injure him or another person. And then they give you a whole bunch of examples, and they also say this about lying. While malicious lying is definitely condemned in the Bible, this does not mean that a person is under obligation to divulge truthful information to people who are not entitled to it. So my question is, are you entitled to the truth? Is lying justified in Scripture? The Watchtower has to make Abraham a good guy in your eyes, so they justify his lies. In contrast with what you will find in other books, I just gonna give you two examples just from books I had on hand. One is Lawrence O. Richards, and the other one is F.B. Meyer on Genesis. So just in contrast, what do they say about Abraham? Do they justify his lies as the Watchtower does, both in this aid book and in other places in their literature? So let's just hear what F.B. Meyer says. I couldn't find the book. It's just a little paperback book on, I think it's just called Abraham. He did a whole series on individual people. So on page 144, 145, F.B. Meyer says this: we are not bound to tell the whole truth to gratify an idle curiosity, but we are bound not to withhold the one item which another should know before completing a bargain, if the knowledge of it would materially alter the result. A lie consists in the motive quite as much as in the actual words. Like Abraham, we may utter true words, meaning them to convey a false impression, and in sight of heaven we are guilty of a deliberate and shameful falsehood. That was F.B. Meyer's book, Abraham. The other book that I have here is a Bible study aid. I used it quite a bit when I was teaching Sunday school, the Bible Reader's Companion. So it's like just a survey of the Bible books. So this is on Genesis 20, and under the caption Fear, he says, Abraham explained his lie about his relationship with Sarah. He thought the people of Gerar didn't fear God, and thus could not be trusted. Whether the people feared God or not, God was there. Abraham could have trusted the Lord, even if he didn't trust Philistines. Fear of others still makes fools of God's people. So he doesn't justify the cause of fear to say that, okay, he could lie. He was supposed to be trusting God. God had just made promises to him. He should have just trusted him. So the question again is, if some are not entitled to truth, what about Jehovah's Witnesses? Are they entitled to the truth? Is the org justified in keeping truth from Jehovah's Witnesses? If you have been following a recent series we started on why we were disfellowshipped, I'm reading from the Watchtower's own literature from the time of Russell forward. And that research was part of what caused me to leave the organization, because I found out the truth about the history of the organization. The history that org seemed to think I was not entitled to know. So they have lied and used deception in what they have told and what they have kept hidden. Are you entitled to the truth? I'll link that series, the first one, where I'm reading from the research work that David and I did when we were leaving the organization. And also another one where we talk about the Aid book and the Insight book in connection with Abraham's lie. Thanks for watching.